Hi guys, I'm using a new mic today, so I want to hear your thoughts. Well, it's not new, I've used it in the past, but it's an XLR instead of my blue snowball. So tell me if you guys like this better. And today we'll be talking about the Toronto Raptors and the Philadelphia 76ers first round playoff matchup. These are our predictions. And before we start the video, I want to hear your guys' predictions down below. How many games? And you know what? Let's just hear all of your opinions down below. Like and subscribe, follow me on social media. Let's hop into it. We're on the road for 6,000 subscribers, guys. So look, I'm going to start. I'll tell you guys who I believe will win at the end, but I'll start first with the Philadelphia 76ers view and then the Toronto Raptors view, explaining how each team can win, and then I'll give my final concise, okay? So let's get right into it. Shout out The Athletic for this, and let's go. So I think this is one of the most intriguing matchups of the first round. And if you look at Philadelphia, they have the possibility to go to the distance. With the ability of Joel Embiid and James Harden, two elite players that obviously will have a huge impact on this series. And obviously the Matisse Thybulle factor during the road games, because he will not be able to play in Toronto in what could be 3 road games, is important as well. I think it's going to be one of the best first round matchups we'll see. And the thing is, Toronto won the season series 3-1 and didn't put up a ton of points, but was able to defend very effectively. And I think Joel and James Harden's ability to not only score, but put pressure on you in the paint and get to the free throw line will be a big factor in this. Now, I continue to say this, but I really do think it will come down to Joel Embiid and his ability to control the tempo of the game from his position. It's going to be difficult for Toronto to match his size and versatility because the Raptors have committed to this switchable playing style that includes a lot of like-sized players having a lot of versatility and switchability. And this is kind of the worst case scenario for them in terms of the one individual matchup. Joel Embiid is the one guy in the league that can play against that style and still produce at a level higher than the normal NBA center. So Embiid will possibly be the difference maker in this series. But I do think it's going to have to come down to a lot of close games and a lot of excitement because Toronto's style of playing, the way that they play, is interesting and fun to watch. Plus, they have 3 centers: Khem Birch, Thad Young, Chris Boucher, and Pascal Achiuwa. So 4 really who can come in and offer some size against Joel Embiid. So those are my viewpoints. Let me take a sip of coffee. Oh, it's already going cold. But those are my points right now for how the Sixers would be able to win. Now, I think we need to talk about how the Toronto Raptors will win, and then I will tell you who I am going to choose. Alrighty? I think if there's any team the Philadelphia 76ers do not want to play, it's the Toronto Raptors. And you're thinking, why do you believe this? They lost to the Raptors before, and they lost the season series 3-1. People around the league are literally talking about what Toronto has done, about how innovative Nick Nurse is. This man's been around the globe. Read or listen to his audio biography. I drive 18 hours to and from Maryland whenever I go home to visit not home, but go back to my parents' place to visit because all my stuff is here in Kansas. And I listen to it. It's freaking fantastic. Nick Nurse is genius. Nick Nurse is God. I want to buy the Nick Nurse pill. Okay, literally, I think it's 30%. Your shooting percentage will increase by after a year of use. Nick Nurse has made this team very unusual in terms of how they use their lineups that they put on the floor. They can lock you down at times with 5 guys who are like 6'8". Preston Achiuwa, Pascal Siakam, OG Anunoby, Boucher, and Scottie Barnes can all be on the floor with basically like everyone at least being like 6'8" with 7-foot wingspans. And they are a very dangerous team defensively and transitionally. And several of those guys can easily guard James Harden. They match up very well against Harden, though they don't really have anybody that matches up very well against Embiid, as if anybody does in the league. They're small at the center position with Khem Birch, Pascal Siakam, okay, Chris Boucher, Thad Young, basically being their center rotation, okay? Like, that's not bad. Chris Boucher, Thad Young, Pascal Siakam, and Khem Birch, but against Joel Embiid. But they do have guys who can play the other 76ers players. They basically have everyone that they can shut down the entire Sixers lineup except Joel and just tell Joel you got to beat us by yourself. And Maxey's got the quickness advantage, but the other team's got the size advantage apart from, Embiid. And then Matisse Thybulle is going to be gone for the games in Toronto, which is huge because Danny Green and Georges Niang are going to be what they're going to have to depend on during those games with the Sixers. And the Sixers also thinned out their roster trading for Harden. They now are going to lose one of their better defenders, and the margin between these teams is already very small. So losing Thybulle for 2 to 3 games is going to be insane. So this is going to be a hell of a series, and that's why I picked Toronto.